Thank you.
So we then start on page 4631.
4631.
31.
4631.
We are still on the date of 26th October 2014.
Siqala ekhasini 4631 sisekhona mhla 26 October 2014.
We start with the activity at 2035,
Siqala ngesikhathi sika 2035.
and the tower identified is straight view.
Ithawa ke eboniwe lapho i-gate view.
At 2036,
Ngo-2036
we then see parquet.
so sibona ke i-tower lena ekuthiwa uParquet.
2042 straight view. 42.
Ngesikhathi ke sa 2042 straight view.
2043 parquet.
2043 Parquet.
A few seconds later at 2043 it's straight view.
Futhi ke imizuzwana elandelayo ngaso sonke isikhathi sa 2043 i-straight view.
2044 parquet.
2044 iParquet.
We then look at 2046.
Bese sibheka u-2046.
It reflects as Phosphorus North.
Ibonakala lapho i-Phosphorus North.
At 2047 straight view.
Ngesikhathi sa 2047 it is straight view.
And 2049 we end up with parquet.
And ngo-2049 siphelela ngeParquet.
We then move on to page 4632.
Bese siya ekhasini u-4632.
We're still on the 26th of October.
Umhla 26 October.
We start off at 2049
Siqala ngesikhathi sika 2049
and we get a parquet.
sisathola yena uParquet.
We move a little down to 2050, which is straight view.
Siyahla ke kancane siya ku-2050 seku-straight view.
Thereafter, a few seconds later, it's parquet.
Emva komsuzwana sekuParquet futhi.
We then go to 2052 and pick up straight view.
Siya lapha ku-2052 utholakala straight view.
2055 Phosphorus North.
2055 uPhosphorus North.
At 2059, we get clinics Phosphorus.
Ngo-2059 sitholakala uClinics ePhosphorus.
We then end on 2059 at clinics Phosphorus.
Gcina-ke ngo-2059 ise-clinics esePhosphorus.
If we move on to 4633, the next page,
Uma siya ke ku-page 4633 ikhasi elilandelayo.
at 2059, we start with Phosphorus Square.
Ngesikhathi ka-2059 thola sePhosphorus Square.
2059, a few seconds later, clinics Phosphorus.
Imizuzwana elandelayo imbalwa sitholakala ese-clinics Phosphorus.
At 2101,
Isikhathi sika-2101
we see Bopang Khotso.
sibona iBupangkgotso.
Thereafter, at 2001, a few seconds later, it's clinics Phosphorus.
Ngathi isikhathi esilandela 2001 sisePhosphorus.
From then until 2107, we are at clinics
Kusukela
Phosphorus.
ngaleso sikhathi kuyofika 2107 se-clinics Phosphorus.
2124 at Bopang Khotso.
2124 kubonakala seBupangkgotso.
And we end at 2028 with clinics Phosphorus.
Siphelela ngo-2028 e-clinics Phosphorus.
If we move on to the next page, which is
Masiya ekhasini
4634,
elilandelayo u-4634.
we begin at 2128.
Siqala ngesikhathi sika-2128
We have clinics Phosphorus.
sine-clinics ePhosphorus.
Thereafter, Phosphorus Square.
Emva kwalokho-ke uPhosphorus Square.
We then go to the end of the page,
Siya-ke emaphethelweni alelo khasi.
2216.
Isikhathi 2216.
It changes to Bopang Khotso.
Yaguquka lapho-ke sekuba iPupangkhotso.
On this page, it moves between Vosloorus Square, Clinics Vosloorus, and therefore I went to the bottom of the page.
Ngale phakathi-ke lana lapho isuka eVosloorus Square ne-clinics eseVosloorus yikho nje ngiye ekugcineni kwepage.
We then move on to 4635.
Siya-ke ku-4635.
Our first activity there is 2216.
Isikhathi esiqala ngaso is 2216.
The tower picked up is Clinics Vosloorus,
Ithawa-ke esiyibambayo lapho i-clinics Vosloorus.
2301 Bopang Khotso,
Ngesikhathi sika-2301 iPupangkhotso.
At 2303, we pick up Mapleton.
Ngesikhathi sika-2303 ithawa ebanjwayo iMapleton.
2305 Vosloorus Square,
Ngesikhathi sika-2305 iVosloorus Square.
and we end with Vosloorus Square
Sigcina lapho ngeVosloorus Square.
with Clinics Vosloorus in between.
Sigcina-ke phakathi nendawo kungene iVosloorus clinic phakathi nendawo.
We then move on to page 4636.
Siya-ke ekhasini 4636.
We are on the same date, 26th October.
Sisaya kulona-ke lolo suku likamhla ka-26 October.
We start with Clinics Vosloorus at 2307.
Siqala-ke ngo-2307 kusese-clinics eVosloorus.
Thereafter, Vosloorus Square,
Emva kwaloko sekuVosloorus Square.
back to Clinics Vosloorus.
Buyele futhi e-clinics Vosloorus.
Towards the middle of the page at
Masishama phakathi nendawo nekhasi.
2322,
Isikhathi 2322.
we then have Sprite View.
Sithola-ke straight view.
2323, Parker.
2323 Parker.
2325, Parker.
2325 Parker.
2327, we end with Sprite View.
2327 sigcina nge-straight view.
We move on to page 4637.
Siya-ke ekhasini 4637.
We begin at 2328.
Siqala-ke ngesikhathi sika-2328.
We get Sprite View again.
Sola i-straight view futhi.
Sprite View goes right until 2338, which is the end of the page.
I-straight view siyaqhubeka sizofika ku-2338 la isemaphethelweni alelo khasi.
We move over to page 4638,
Siya-ke ekhasini 4638
still on GPRS data.
sisakhuluma ngayo i-GPRS data.
2338 Sprite View.
2338 ise-straight view.
We then end at 2347 at Sprite View.
Sigcina-ke ngo-2347 sise-straight view.
This entire page has the same cell name, which
No.
is Sprite View.
Lonke-ke leli khasi libonakala lineqhawa eyodwa nje i-straight view.
Moving on to page 4639.
Siya-ke ku-4639
At 2347 Sprite View,
ku-2347 sibona i-straight view.
2348, 2349 we have an undefined.
Ku-2349 akukho lutho oluchazekayo.
We then end at 2356 at Sprite View again.
Sigcina-ke futhi-ke ngesikhathi sika-2356 e-straight view futhi.
This page also has Sprite View as the cell name.
Futhi-ke naleli khasi leli lithi khuluma nge-spread view kuyindawo egcina kuyona.
Page 4640.
Siya-ke ekhasini 4640
We begin with 2358.
siqala ngo-2358
Parquet.
sephakhe
It then moves on to spread view.
siyadlula-ke i-spread view.
We have an undefined on 2359 and 0001.
Kusuka ngesikhathi ka-2359 kuyofika 0001 lapho-ke akunancazelo ebonisayo ukuthi kukuphi.
A few seconds later, on the 27th, 0001, we pick up straight view
Mhla ka-27-ke emva kwemizuzwana nje sibona i-spread view.
until 0008, the end of the page, straight view.
Spread view sihamba sizofika ekugcineni kwekhasi isikhathi ku-0008.
We then turn over to 4641.
Bese-ke siya ekhasini 4641.
We start on the 27th at 0008.
Qala ngomhla ka-27 ngo-008.
We get straight view as the cell name.
Sithola-ke iseli ethi spread view.
We have two undefines at 0009.
Sinalapho-ke kungenancazelo khona kusuka ngo-0009
And 0011.
uyofika ku-0011.
We end the page at 0016 with parquet.
Ipage liphelela ngo-0016 endaweni-ke kuthiwa iphakhe.
4642 begins on the 27th of October at 0016.
U-4642 uqale ngo-0016.
We've identified straight view.
Sibona-ke lapho indawo ese-spread view.
Between straight view and parquet,
Phakathi kwe-spread view nephakhe
that reflects on this page.
evela kuleli khasi.
And we end up at 0028 with spread view.
Sifika ku-0028 se-spread view.
Moving on to page 4643.
Siye-ke ekhasini 4643.
We start at 0028.
Qala ngo-0028.
We get straight view.
Sithola i-spread view.
0029
Nge-0029
parquet.
sithola iphakhe.
It then goes back to straight view at 0030,
Ngo-0030 phela spread view.
0032 parquet,
Esi-0032 iphakhe.
and we end up at 0038 parquet at the end of the page.
Ekugcineni kwepheji-ke sigcina ngo-0038 isephakhe.
This page consists of two towers, movement between parquet and straight view.
Leli khasi leli likhuluma ngokusuka ngomnyakaza phakathi kwe-spread view nephakhe.
On page 4644,
Ikhasi-ke 4644.
we begin at 0038.
Siqala ngo-0038.
We have straight view,
Sino-spread view.
0041 parquet,
Ngo-0041 iphakhe.
0046 straight view,
Ngo-0046 spread view.
0057 undefined,
Ngo-0057 asazi akwazi ukuthi ibilaphi.
0058 we end with straight view.
Ngo-0058 iphelela spread view futhi.
Moving on to the next page,
Ekhasini elilandelayo
4645.
4645.
We start with the 27th at 0059.
Siqala-ke ngilapha ngo-0059 isikhathi kuye ngamhla 27.
Phosphorus.
Ikhuluma ngokwasephosphorus.
A few seconds later, straight view.
Emva kwemizuzwana nje sithi se-spread view.
At 1 o'clock on the 27th, we have an undefined.
Ngo-1 o'clock ikhuluma ngokuthi akwazi ukuthi ilaphi
a few seconds thereafter sprayed view,
emva komzuzwana nje se-spread view.
and from 0111 until the end of the page 0119 we have sprayed view.
Kusukela ngo-0111 kuyofika ngo-0119 se-spread view.
We turn over to 4646.
Siyake ku-4646.
We begin with 125.
Isikhathi sodu 0125, 25 minutes past 1.
And we get phosphorus.
Phosphorus.
126 sprayed view
26 minutes past 1 is spread view.
until 129 sprayed view.
Uyofika 29 minutes past 1.
At 0131 we get an undefined.
0131 sithola la kungena ncazelo khona.
From 0135 to 0135, 50 seconds we get sprayed view.
0135 kufika ngo-0135 50 seconds thola spread view.
0137 parquet.
0137 sithola iparquet.
0138 phosphorus.
0138 sithola phosphorus.
And at 9:15 we get West Street.
Ngo-9:15 ila sithola khona umgwaqo uWest Street.
On page 4647
Ebukhasini ke-4647
we begin with 918 South Street.
siqala ngo-918 esemgwaqweni usawa.
Right until 10:52 we still get South Street.
Uyofika ke u-10:52 sathola wona lo mgwaqo usawa Street.
At 11:53
Isikhathi sa-11:53
JSE.
sithola ke i-JSE.
At 11:54 South Street
Ngo-11:54 sithola usawa umgwaqo.
until 12:30 South Street.
Ukuyofika u-12:30 kusewusawa Street.
But at 12:31 we get undefined.
Ngo-12:31 ayikho ncazelo.
A few seconds later, at the end of the page, we get South Street.
Kugcineni kwekhasi siphinde siyathola lapha kukhulunywa futhi ngosawa Street.
Still on the 27th,
Sisakuyena umhla 27
12:45,
ngo-12:45
we get Queen's Park.
sikhona ikhuluma ngo-Queen's Park.
12:46 Brixton.
Ngo-12:46 ikhuluma nge-Brixton.
12:47 Mayfair West.
Ngo-12:47 ikhuluma nge-Mayfair West.
13:17 Brixton.
13:17 i-Brixton.
14:12 Mayfair West.
Ngo-14:12 Mayfair West.
14:19 Brixton.
Ngo-14:19 ise-Brixton.
At 14:22 we end the page with Brixton.
Ngo-14:22 liyaphela-ke ikhasi lapho kusakhulunywa nge-Brixton.
This page shows you between Mayfair West and Brixton
Leli khasi lonke likhombisa ukuthi bephakathi kwe-Mayfair West ne-Brixton.
and one part of Queen's Park.
Nenye-ke isikhashana esincane la bese-Queen's Park.
And that is the end of the GPRS data.
Ya ubona-ke kuphelela-ke kwe-GPS data. Thank you.
And then the SMSs.
The that we would find on page 2184.
SMS izothola ekhasini 2184.
Okay, at the top of page 2184,
Usukele phezulu ke kuleli khasi 2184.
on the 26th of October, 7:52,
Mhla 26 ku-October ngesikhathi se-7:52.
an outgoing SMS was made from the number ending 0436 to 6669.
Khona ke SMS ephuma kule number ephela ngo-0436 igcina ke iya kule number e-669.
The towers picked up on the first two transactions were Malbarton.
Manje ithapha ke ekhombisa la uma bexhumana email button.
Again, on the 26th at 11:03,
Ngo-11:03 umhla 26
an outgoing SMS from the number ending 0436
kusuka ka kule number ephelela ngo-0436
to 6669,
iya ku-669
and Glen Vista was picked up as the tower.
and ikhombisa iGlen Vista West itower.
The same as the 11:04 outgoing SMSs.
Fikela ngesikhathi sika-11:04 la kuphuma khona SMS.
At 9:30 on the 26th,
Mhla 26 ke ngo-9:30
an SMS was sent from 0436
ikhona i-SMS evele ku-0436
to 6669,
iya ku-669
and Malbarton was picked up.
and isaxhumana nayo le tower email button.
The same occurred at 10:26.
Phinde kwenzeka kanjalo ke ngo-10:26
That was a call.
lapho ke kwakuthintana ngokuxhumana ngocingo ufoni.
If we go on to 2185,
Uma sengisiya lapha ekhasini 2185
an SMS sent from 0436
kukhona i-SMS ephuma ku-0436
to 6669,
iya ku-669
and we could not identify a tower there.
lapho ke akwazange kutholakala ukuthi yiphi itower ebisenza lapho.
At 11:53,
Isikhathi sika-11:53
another SMS from 0436
khona i-SMS ephuma ke kuyo le number u-0436
to 6669.
iya kuyo le number u-669
Malbarton was picked up
email
again.
button iyona eyatholakala.
At 15:42,
Ngesikhathi sika-1542
an SMS was sent again to the 669 number,
ikhona i-SMS eyathunyelwa futhi iya kule number u-669.
and the tower picked up was Besonia.
Itower ke eyatholakala lapho uBasoni.
1725,
Isikhathi sika-1725
another SMS,
khona i-SMS futhi eyaphuma
and Besonia was picked up again.
futhi kwaphinde kwathiwa ukuthi itower esetshenziswayo uBasoni.
The same as with the transaction for 1723,
Futhi ke kwabanjalo ngesikhathi sika-1723
Besonia was picked up.
kwakusetshenziswa yona iBasoni.
1725,
Nga-1725 futhi
Rand Water was picked up.
kwatholakala ukuthi itower i-Rand Water.
If we turn over to 2186,
Uma siya ekhasini 2186
an SMS was sent on the 27th
khona SMS yathunyelwa ngomhla 27
at 0043
number udial 043
from the 0436 number
iphuma ke kuyona le number u0436
to the 6669 number.
ushuthi iya kuyona le number u669
And the tower picked up was Spruit View.
itower ke esetshenziswa lapho i-Spruit View.
That's the last SMS on that page. If
yona ke SMS ekugcina kulelo khasi
we turn over to 2187,
siphendule ikhasi siye ku-2187
there was no communication between the number ending at 0436 and 6669.
kubanga ke nakuqhuma phakathi kwale number 0436 nale egcina ngo-669
Okay. Okay. Regarding the SMSs, can you also place the tower information?
cela ke usichazele ke ukuthi
From,
mayelana namatower
from 1857
ama-SMS ahamba ngayiphi itower kusukela
on the 26th
ngo-1857
of October.
mhla 26 October
1857 is an undefined tower,
ngo-1857 itower engaziwa
and at 01:59, sorry, 21:01:59 seconds,
ngo-21:01:59 seconds
that was a call which was Bopangkotso, and the last SMS was at 0043 on the 27th, and Spruit View.
let's start again let me do the
Okay, sorry.
no ngo-21:01:59 kwakuqhunyanwa netower ekwakuthiwa ibupangfotso
And at 0043 on the 27th, the last message or SMS reflects Spruit View.
ngesikhathi ka-0043 ngomhla ka-27 imessage yokugcina ikhombisa i-Spruit View.
Thank you. Now, let's focus on the number ending with 51 of the deceased, the one that was identified as belonging to Senzo Meyiwa.
Zero 071 437 9551. So that data starts on page 361.
siqale ke ekhasini u-361 sikhuluma ngale number e-0771 437 9551
And the number that was identified as belonging to Kelly Kumalo ending with 4358.
futhi sibhekana nale number egcina ngo-4358 ekuthiwa kwakuyinumber kakheli ukhumalo
4358.
As well as the number ending with 2498.
Okay, 4358 data begins at page 1650.
Ithetha-ke number 4358 iqala lapha ekhasini u-1650.
And data ending 0436 begins on 2184.
Manje-ke i-data-ke ekhuluma ngale number egcina u-0436 iqala lapha ekhasini u-2180.
Okay. With that in mind, can you tell the court if these devices on the 26th of October 2014, between 1900 and 2000, were they picking the same tower?
Yes, they were.
So-ke ngamhla 26 ku-October lezi number lezi kusukela ngo-1900 kuyofika ngo-2000 kushuthi ngo-7 kuyofika ngo-8 zasichumana netower eyodwa na othi yebo.
Which are these numbers?
082
Wait. 082
704
704
4358
4358
060
060
804
804
0436
0436
and 071
071
437
437
9551.
9551. So these are three numbers.
Yes,
So we're picking up the same towers.
yes.
And then the follow-up question is, what are these towers? The towers that they were picking between 1900 and 2000. Can you place that on record?
From what I've read out, I would say it's the clinics of Phosphorus, Sprite View. The most common towers were Phosphorus Square, Bopang Khotso. The phones did travel to and fro. I've picked up South Street, West Street. On one or two of the numbers, it was Wanderers, Lichter, and Frieda, Pasonia, Glen Vista. I would say that those were the most common towers.
Join is in number 082 704 4358, no 060 804 0436, no 071 437 9551. Zazithi zichumana nemathawa afanayo. Amathawa abonakala kakhulu i-clinics ne-Phosphorus ne-Spirit View. Ibonakala kujwayele ukuthintana nayo kwakuyi-Phosphorus Square ne-Bopang Khotso. Kodwa kuyavela ukuthi nezinye inamba bezihamba zithinta ithawa njengesawa ne-West Street ne-Rand Water what is the next?
Pasonia and Glen Vista.
Ne-Pasonia ne-Glen Vista.
Just confine yourself to the 26th of October 2014.
Sprite View, Bopang Khotse,
Spirit View, Bopang Khotso,
Parquet,
Parquet,
Clinics, Phosphorus,
the clinics phosphorus,
and phosphorus square.
the phosphorus square.
Thank you. I would like to show you Exhibit O1.
Exhibit 01.
That's correct, my lord.
What is it?
It's an affidavit by Colonel Stein.
Ngifisa ukukhombisa i-affidavit evela ku-Colonel Stein.
Can you just place the page number there on record?
Page 23.
Uthi-ke ikhasi kwawo-page 23.
The information that I would like to draw your attention on is at the bottom of the page.
Ngifisa ukuthi siyobheka ukubona ilapha ingasekugcineni kwekhasi.
Yes.
Are you able to see that? And then what you have testified about on paragraph number 9.
Can I ask the state to beam that page that the state is referring to so that the clients can be able to see the page?
Yes, sir.
My lord, the witness does not have that statement on her device.
computer?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not the one who's beaming that information. Is
Hello?
from. I'm saying I'm not the one who's beaming the information on the monitor. It is the witness. And
So
she
the
does
witness
not
doesn't have Colonel Stein's affidavit.
That's correct.
But the state, my lord, does have the statement, and this information is contained in the transcript as well.
My lord, it will mean. I will come back to that aspect.
Which aspect?
The one of
They want you to beam it simultaneously.
so it means that I will have to then remove the HDMI cable.
Yeah,
and-
do that.
My lord, I think it will be better if we just go on the transcript, because the transcript is easier to go there. This evidence is there on the transcript.
But your clients won't be able to see the transcript.
Sorry.
Yeah, me, I think.
Let's proceed with the statement. Thank you.
You see.
Although it was not made by this witness.
So that is Stein's affidavit.
That's correct, my lord.
Okay. It's on page?
Page 23.
23.
Page 23 of Exhibit 01. Yes.
On paragraph number 9 of your affidavit, as well as page 23 of Stein's affidavit.
So affidavit is triple J.
Triple J. That's
J1.
correct. J1.
Yeah, right?
the affidavit of Colonel State is Exhibit 01, page
Yeah.
23.
Page 23.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This is what is contained in the affidavit of Colonel Stein versus what you have today placed on record.
Nje khona lokho kuvela lapha ku-affidavit ka-Colonel Stein masiqhathanisa naloko wena usandokufunda ukuthi kuqoshwe.
Yes.
And then evidence before this court is that this evidence is from the downloading of a cell phone.
Nje ke ufakazi obula enkantolo ukuthi lokho ke kwakuyilaba abedownloada khona i-cellphone.
And then what you have testified on today is in relation to a section 205.
Manje ubukubeka la enkantolo kuhambelana ne-section 205.
Yes, that's correct.
Wathi yebo kuyiqiniso.
Can you compare these two sets of testimonies and you give the similarities as well as the differences?
Ungaqhathanisa ke lo bufakazi obulana ukuthi asitshela ukuthi bufanaphi behlukaphi.
Okay, firstly, I can only testify on my statement and my evidence, but because I was asked to do a comparison, I will then identify it.
Ngithanda ukuthi ngifakaze ngesami statement kodwa njengoba ngiceliwe ukuthi ngiqhathanise ngizozama ukwenza njalo.
I can confirm that the MSISDNs are the same.
Ngingasho ukuthi ama-MS ayafana.
MSI.
MSISDN.
Ama-MSISDN
And the
ayafana.
same.
Yes.
Just simplify, what is it, MSIDN?
MSISDN refers to the cell phone number in question.
Shuke MSISDN ikhuluma ngomakhalekhukhwini, inombolo kamakhalekhukhwini.
The IMSI number, which refers to the unique serial number of a SIM card,
Shute ke
are
imzi
the
number
same.
inamba ke ekhombisa ke inamba kamakhalekhukhwini engafani nenye. Kuyabonakala ukuthi ngapha nangapha kule mibiko ehlukene ayafana.
The IMEI numbers, which indicates the serial number of the handset or cell phone, are similar.
Jake IMEI ukhuluma ngesirial number kamakhalekhukhwini ayafana.
The call type is similar, which reflects an outgoing call.
Kushuke uhlobo ke lwamakholi aphumayo ke ayafana.
The date and the duration.
Is the court, my lord? I
Yeah.
hear the witness saying that the outgoing calls are the same, but that is an MTC. It's an incoming call, not an outgoing call.
Yes, I haven't completed saying what I needed to say.
Yeah, but MTC stands for mobile terminating call.
Yes,
and
that-
the person that is receiving the call, not
Yes.
the person that is making the call.
So if you gave me
We
a
need to be
chance,
very accurate with our terminology.
if you had given me a chance, I would have
Thank
said
you.
which number made the call.
Okay.
So you haven't completed your statement.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Please
My lord.
complete it.
The 2nd of August and 15th of October,
Ngomhla 2 ku-August nomhla 15 ku-October
together with the times, are similar.
ney'khathi ziyafana.
The duration of the calls are similar.
Ubude ke bamakholi buyafana.
This is where the difference comes in.
No kumehluko la utholakala khona.
The other party number is different.
In the number ke yale lo munye oxhunyana naye yehluko.
This reflects on the 2nd of August that the number ending with 1330
Kuthiwa ngomhla 2 August inamba egcina ngo-1330
called,
130, sorry?
called the number ending with 4358.
Yeah, shayela ucingo the number is the number 4358.
On the 15th of October,
On 15 October,
the other party is different.
lo number kuyana na yehlukile.
It indicates that the other party ending in 9551
La ngeke ifuna kuyana ethi no 9551.
called the number ending in 4358.
Ya yona ya thinta nale number egcina ngo 4358.
Thank you. Is that all? Is that all?
Yes.
Athi kona konke ke lokho.
I don't have the cell name on my set of data, and there's a cell name on this set of data
Athi
on page 23.
kuyami data nginayo kodwa kule nginikiwe ikhona ku page 23.
Now, are you able to explain before this court the difference in this data that is presented before you?
Ngingakwazi ukuchazela inkantolo ukuthi yini kunomehluko kuleyo data onikwe yona.
The only explanation I can give you is that this has come directly from our NEMO system. It was that was on our database at Vodacom.
Engachaza ukuthi lokhu kuvela emshinini wethu uNemo database yase Vodacom.
This data does reflect under the AMA data,
Bathi ke le data ke vela ku ama data
which implies that a call was received.
uchaza ukuthi khona ke ifoni eyangena.
This activity on page 23 does not reflect on our set of data.
Lokhu kulapha ku page 53 akuveli ku set yethu ye data.
And then, what could be a possible explanation that it does not reflect on your set of data?
Manje yini ingazele engachaza ukuthi yini ke kungaveli ku data yenu.
Because it doesn't reflect on AMA data, there could be a possibility that it could be under GPRS.
Njengoba ingaveli kwama data ngaba nokuthi mhlambe kuvela ku GPRS.
Although on our set of GPRS data,
Noma ke ku data set yethu GPRS
it would not reflect as a call.
angeke ivele kithina ibonakala njenge call.
Is the call? I just avoided to object just before this witness can give her explanation, which is a speculation.
Are you speculating, ma'am?
Yes.
On my set of data, no.
Athi uma ngikhuluma ngeyami data angikageli.
No, the question was, can she please give a possible explanation with regards to the differences between the two tables, particularly with regard to the call that is making the call to the first one. I mean the call to the other one. That is that number ending in 202 making a call to the number ending with 358. Why is that information that is contained in Mr. Stain's affidavit not the same information that is contained in her affidavit? Then the state says to her, can she please then come up with a possible explanation? Then I'm saying to the court has said that we should wait for the witness to finish their answer before we can object.
Yes.
But I am saying that this state is causing the witness to come up with a conjecture, which is a speculation, which is not based on facts. And this witness says, insofar as my data is concerned, I am not speculating. We have to hear her about the data relating to state.
The way I understand the state,
Mr. Sibande, Advocate Sibande.
Are you not saying you request an explanation, if there is any?
That's correct.
You're not. Are you respecting a conjecture, guesswork?
No.
Please.
My lord, she said a possible explanation,
That's it, yeah, fine.
which is not based on facts. That's a conjecture. It's a speculation, a possibility.
Ma'am,
This is not rocket science.
can we hear from you? A conjecture and speculation and explanation, is there a difference?
Yes,
Hello?
to an extent, my lord. But I will, however, mention the fact that, as I've indicated at the beginning, before testifying on this data, that I can only speak for what I have on my data.
Right.
I cannot speak for somebody else's data.
Hayi mina ngakwazi ukukhuluma ngedata yami kuphela angeke ngakwazi ukuthi ngilethe ubufakazi ngedata yomunye umuntu.
Yes, Mr.
That's correct, my lord. The witness before court is also an expert.
Hello?
The witness before court, she's also an expert. She can also give an opinion. And
Well,
that's
she
what
says
she's
she's
doing at the
not
moment.
prepared. Are you prepared to do so or not?
I will make a statement once again that I am not confirming Colonel
Mr. Colonel Stein's affidavit.
data. Yes.
Yeah.
I am not confirming it. But when asked of what the difference was, this could be a possibility that it could appear on the GPRS data. But with that said, I've also said that on our set of GPRS data,
Doesn't appear.
it doesn't appear as a call.
Right.
You cannot differentiate between a call or a message under the GPRS data because it's internet usage.
Yeah. But the call exists. Are you with me?
Yes,
Are you with me?
I'm with you.
When I say, but the fact is that call, the number called, which you cannot speculate whether it's incoming or outgoing or whatever, it exists.
I cannot confirm that this call
Exists.
exists.
Okay, fine.
Ngikwazi ukuletha isiqinisekiso sokuthi hayi le call iyabakho.
Can you further explain a call on GPRS stream? You can do that by way of giving an example so that we can understand.
Okay, as I've indicated and said a few minutes ago, under the GPRS stream, it's all the internet-related activities. That is whether you surf the net or use WhatsApp to make a call. Back in the day, it used to be BBM. That would all fall under GPRS. But then again, I reiterate, you cannot differentiate under the GPRS stream whether it is a message, whether you were streaming, or whether you have made a call. All it shows us is the usage of that transaction.
Thiwa kachazeke nge-GPRS stream osethi-ke yilapho kuvela khona-ke ukuthi umuntu usebenzise i-internet akuchazi ukuthi wayesebenzisa i-WhatsApp enza i-call noma wayezibukela nje ku-GPRS. Kodwa konke kubonakala kuyi-GPRS. Umehluka ubonakala ukuthi lana i-call lana i-WhatsApp ngoba nje konke kuyafana la.
Yeah, from my understanding. But there is an intercommunication or a transaction between two numbers.
Yes.
Otherwise, I must go and study mathematics again. So that number can't interact alone. It interacts with another number. But you are not able to determine whether it is a GPS or whatever.
Yes, we cannot establish what the activity is.
But the activity concerns two numbers.
Yes.
Ati kukhona-ke ukubona kugcina kubona-ke ukuthi ukuxhumana kona kukhona ukuthi kwakwenziwani ikona-ke okungaveli kahle okungacaci kodwa ukuxhumana kona phakathi kwey'nombolo ezimbili kukhona.
You also mentioned WhatsApp call as well as BBM call. Can you also explain what that is and what does it entail?
So when I mentioned BBM, that was back in the day during this period. You would need to have a BlackBerry handset. We've moved with technology, we have smartphones now. If you needed to use the BBM, you needed to download the BBM app. When you surf the internet, it would then show blackberry.net under the APN. If we talk about WhatsApp, it's a more modern technology, also an application that needs to be downloaded. Possibly on the APN, you would then find vodacom.co.za. As we've said earlier, the APN is the access point network. You have to connect to a server to get this. And that's the difference with technology of BBM those days and WhatsApp nowadays.
BBM again. Kwakuhlobo olalidinga ukuthi usebenzise le phone okuthiwa yi-BlackBerry ofanele kube nayo. I-BBM kwakuyi-application ofanele uyi-download ngoba idinga ukuthi ibe khona leyo application. Lapha ekhombisa ibhala ukuthi blackberry.net okusho ukuthi i-APM esetshenziswayo. I-WhatsApp nayo yi-application entsha ke efanele nayo ukuthi download. Manje ke lapha ku-Vodacom ikhombisa ukuthi ihamba nge-access point ihamba nge-access point network. So kule malanga akudala kwakubona eyikhona le kwakuthiwa u-BBM kodwa kule malanga le ayisekho leyo BBM.
Can you find a BBM call on the section 205?
But uyakwazi ukuthatha i-BBM call lapha ngaphansi section 205?
We would not be able to identify a BBM call because it would have been under the GPRS stream.
Yes, we born a little BBM call ngoba iyoba ingaphansi kwe-GPRS stream.
Before I leave this point, you also made mention of the fact that if it's a call on BBM, it will also make mention of blackberry.net.
Yes.
Can I ask my colleague to speak aloud? I'm struggling to hear him. Thank
you. You made mention that if it's a call over BBM, it will show blackberry.net or vodacomlive.com. If you go back now to the data or the GRS, to make sure I get GPRS stream.
Yes.
Of the number ending with 4358.
May the statement, Madam, assist us with the page number on which they are.
Okay.
And what exhibit?
We're still on exhibit JJJ1. I'm on page 1654.
I'm on page 1654, and if we look at the GPRS stream,
Sisekhasi no 1654 masibheka lapha i-GPRS stream lapho.
and we are on number ending 4358.
Sikule number egcina ngo-4358.
Under the APN column,
Ngaphansi kwe-APN column
you will find blackberry.net.
uzothola lapho kubhalwe ukuthi blackberry.net.
So that's what you meant with BBM calls.
Ilapho kusho nge-BBM call.
Not necessarily BBM calls, but every transaction relating to BBM, which
Okay.
could include calls.
Angisho ukuthi kwakuyi-BBM call leyo, kodwa ke nanoma yini ke yenzeka lapho ngaphansi kwe-BBM ezohlanganisa futhi ke nawo ke ama-call avela ku-BBM.
Okay. There's something else that I need clarification on. On page 4633,
Naselapha ekhasini 4633
in the GPRS stream,
4633. Yes.
APN,
APN is LT. Sorry, it's light vodacom.za.
APN lapho light vodacom.co.za.
It's actually LTE, but I will make sure. LTE Vodacom ZA.
LTE vodacom.za.
okay. Thank you. Now let us move back to the addendum.
That too?
The addendum
Oh, the
statement, yes. The number ending with 0436 as well as the number ending with 4358 9551 2498.
Nasibheke lesi number ke lapha esithaselweni 0436 egcina futhi ngo-4358 negcina ngo-9551 negcina ngo-2498.
Yes.
Yes. Do those numbers that I mentioned after 2100 on the 26th of October 2014 pick up locations at clinics? The clinics, what? These clinics for Flores.
Yes.
Can you also mention, I know you have done this, for the sake of the record, mention individually, just give a general time after 2100, this was the time and location that it picked up after 2100.
There were random times after 2100.
Yes, it's fine.
I would say from about 2100 hours right until maybe 2300 hours or leading into midnight that these towers were picked up.
Ngakusho ukuthi this number egcina ngo-0436 4358 9551 2498 ukusukela ke ngesikhathi sika-21 ngomhla 2610 zazibonakala ngesithinta nama-tower clinics ne-Foslorus kusukela ngo-21 athi kuyofika mhlambe kasithi ke 23 hours sifikela nakhona ku esikhathini sika-0000 besithitha 800 tower yona.
Okay, just explain to the court, how does the tower feeds into the device, the information.
Okay, so in terms of having a cell phone, the first thing you do is when you purchase a SIM card and a phone,
umuntu uqala-ke uthola i-cellphone uthenga ne-sim card.
Maybe before this witness proceeds here, I'm struggling to find out on the number that ends with 4358 the date on which that number goes beyond 21 hours. I don't know what page is that. That number that ends with 4358 that goes beyond 21 hours. Maybe the state can assist me with that.
But this witness was asked about 4 numbers. Is that not so? Mr. Minister, this witness was asked about 4 numbers, which proliferate the hours between 2100 hours, as she says, to up to about midnight on the 26th.
Excuse me, madam.
I say this witness was asked about 4 numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. So you only want 1 number, you don't want the 4.
No, I can tell you, I'm struggling from these voluminous documents to find out specifically the time that goes beyond 21 hours in respect of the number that ends with 4358. Yes.
Yeah,
I want
that's why-
that specific
that's
page
why I
where
say
you can
if
see
you-
that this number 4 that ends with 4358 goes beyond 21 hours. I'm not saying all the numbers, the specific number that I'm referring to. Now.
Yeah, fine.
Yes, so that's why I'm requesting the state to assist me to follow him. Thank you.
Ma'am, can you go to page 1650?
Page 1650.
1650.
Correct.
The time set.
From 1407:51,
1407
51,
to
2332 at the bottom of the page.
It shows undefined that the cell phone was on voicemail during this period.
So ngo-14 0751 kufika ngo-2332 the number ethi 1650 khombisa ukuthi no akho la iqhumana khona ngoba ithi undefined.
But the fact is, it was active during that time.
Yes.
Yeah, mention the period.
Yes,
During
it
which
was,
it
it
was
was
active.
active during that period,
Yes, give us the-
although a tower could not be
That's it. So
identified.
give us the number when it was active, the time rather.
It was active from 1407
1407,
51 from the 26th
26.
of October.
Yeah.
It was on CF from that period right until,
Meaning undefined.
yes, I'm going to the last activity of when it was on voicemail.
Yes.
It goes on to page
Page.
1654 until 27th October,
Yes.
2152 that it was on voicemail,
Right.
although a tower could not be identified.
Okay.
So remember then on 26 October, so then 1407 go 51. Where to Zofika Castle in 1554 on 27 isikhathi sa-2152 le namba bilokusebenza kodwa ke nanoma ithawa kungakwazi ukuthi kuchaze ukuthi yiphi le thawa eyisebenzisa.
Before we move to a new exhibit, let's clarify the following. Are you familiar with the downloading process that was undertaken by Colonel Stein?
No.
Can you please question again?
Is she familiar with the downloading process that was done by Colonel Stein?
What you ask in ukuthi wayenza uhlobo lokudownloada uKenneth Stein wathi cha akazi
Of a handset.
ukuthi hlobo leni le handset
No.
wathi cha akazi.
Objection, my lord. Why the state is always inviting these hearsay questions, my lord? Because Stein never worked with the current witness who is on the witness box. The questions are irrelevant, my lord.
I don't know about that. Are you talking, sir? Are you talking about the method?
Indeed so, my lord.
You're not talking about
The analysis.
that's it. You're talking the method
The
utilized.
method, yes.
It's like saying a motor vehicle, when it is on, it's an automatic vehicle. You push the clutch and then you start it. Is that the method?
Method.
Okay, he's talking about the method.
But it's not the method.
Well, he's saying that. I'm not
It's
saying
not
that.
the method. He's saying, do you know which device Colonel Stein used?
Device. He talked about the methods.
But my lord, over and above that,
Hey, but why do you argue about useless things like this?
No, this is not useless. Over and above that, the state tried to siphon evidence or testimony from the witness. This witness specifically told this person, I cannot comment on the work that was prepared by Mr. Stein.
Okay, fine.
So why then does the state have to keep on trying to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig on something that this witness has already told this court that he can't comment on?
Okay, let's go on. Yes, sir.
Elizabeth, please.
Hello?
Do I respond or must I?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
My lord, I just wanted to invite a comment from the witness, but if my colleagues.
They say you're digging. You're digging up.
No. It's
You're
a
cooking,
concept,
in other
my
words. You're
lord.
cooking evidence.
No objection, my lord. Nobody said cooking.
Oily course and you're putting in salt and pepper.
In the best terminology of that you can use, my lord, you rather use trumped,
You what?
or the word trumped, which means evidence that has been made up, not really cooking. At least we have graduated to that level, my lord.
Is that so?
to speak, yes. But the essence of it is that this witness gave an umbrella answer that she can't comment on
Yeah,
something
fine,
that
fine.
was done by state.
You're withdrawing that question, are you, sir? The state.
No, my lord.
What is your question? So that everybody can understand it.
I mean, it's a concept. I wanted to understand.
The concept of doing what?
The downloading concept as well as the section 205. If she knows the process that the police use to download the information on a device.
Now, she says she doesn't know.
Thank you. Thank you, my lord.
Doga abazi ukuthi mhloboni eyendlela esetshenziswayo ukuthi udownload information athi cha akazi ukuthi amaphoyisa senza yiphi method.
Okay. Lastly, if you don't know, it's fine. Will this downloaded information on the device also appear on the section 205?
No.
Athi cha into edownloadwe section 205 angeke ivele ku section 205.
You know, this 20 past.
Can I complete?
Yes.
No. As I've indicated, on a on a download from the handset itself, you would get the messages, and as the phone was used, you'd get all those details. On our set of data,
Everything.
there's no messages. So that's where the difference is. It will show you that there's an activity, but it does not give you the contents of that messages.
Athi-ke kusho ufaka uyakwazi ukuthola imessage ukuthi downloadweni nama-message nani, kodwa kweyethu i-database awekho ama-message, izokhombisa nje ukuthi khona bekwenzeka kodwa ngeke ichaze ukuthi bekuwama-message noma bekuyini.
Thank you, my lord. It's 20 past 3. I would request
Okay,
that we
yes.
adjourn until.
Are you available tomorrow, ma'am?
Yes, my lord.
Okay, you say it's 20 past 3.
That is 15:20, my lord. In a more professional.
I'm quoting your colleague there.
Yes, 15:20.
He calls it 20 past 3.
Yes, that GMT is 15:20. Because when it says 20 past 3, it could mean in the morning. But you are now in the afternoon, that is 15:20.
Mr. Sibanda, they're correcting you. They say you are reckless with your language.
It has been a long day, my lord.
Okay, yeah, so tomorrow at 10 o'clock then.
And keep the call.